Hey Jeff, hey Willie, hello, 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 you guys. As y'all can see, it's me and Trey Amazing holding it down tonight. We got a really juicy topic, and I can't wait to get into it because I want people to understand fully.
I like how you dropping all these keywords. We got a juicy topic, and you can't wait to get into it.
I sure can. Listen, listen. The puns are rolling. They're just flowing off the lips. Can you tell?
Hmm. Definitely off the lips. I know that.
I told the people we getting wet tonight, and that's what it is. Bring you
Hmm.
something to wet your lips and your tongue, and we gonna get into it, baby. Because
Oh my God.
baby,
Yeah.
so no problem, Jeff. We miss you, but family first, and that's important. You know, it is a holiday weekend. A lot of people are doing some family stuff, so we miss Jeff, Tiffany, and Horace. But Trey and I are going to hold it down because we about to get into it, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
just simple.
About to get balls deep into it.
We sure are, and that's the only way to get into it. Like,
Hmm.
because if that ain't what you doing, ain't no squirting happening. And there you have it.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
y'all,
Like they say, put your ankles into it.
listen, take them granddaddy socks off and get you a good stance, like literally bear down up in that.
I
So
ain't talking about
tonight,
them, not them regular. Yeah, them granddaddy stuff. Them gold toe church socks with the sock garters. Boy, you better get into it. You and the deacon board. I'm telling you.
ah,
Y'all know what it is. The deacon know.
I'm trying to tell you, okay? I'm trying to tell you. All right. Listen, you know what it is to make it work, make it do what it do. So, listen, tonight we're talking about female ejaculation. It is not a myth, it is real. It does happen. Where do y'all think the wet spot comes from? Because that
Hmm.
is not sweat, okay? It's not sweat. It's not you, man. It's not y'all. Okay. So this has been an interesting conversation because it started off in ringside actually. And boy, that conversation was very interesting.
Big shout
And
out to ringside, everybody.
listen, shout out to ringside. Listen, I just sat and looked because I was just like, I'm not gonna get into this because this person is really getting on my nerves to say that it's urine. It is not pee, first of all. Can
It's
we
not
just
urine.
be clear?
It's not urine. Trust me.
Female ejaculation, i.e., squirting, is not pee, people. It's not. Okay, just so y'all know, it's not pee.
It is
It
not
is.
pee.
It's not pee. Okay, just so y'all
Fellas,
know.
fellas, don't be afraid to go down there. Trust me, it is not. She is not urinating. She is not pissing in your face. It is not an R. Kelly fetish. It is something else. It is something that is not urine. So this
Right,
whole this whole belief that a woman is peeing on you, completely false.
right.
Completely false. Don't believe it.
It's it's not at all. It's just not at all. Like I'm gonna need y'all to understand what it is and what is not. So it's definitely not urine. First of all, we don't even pee out of the same hole. It's not the same hole. Okay. First of all, can you just understand that? Just can we just go ahead and get basic anatomy out of the way? It's not the same hole, people. Not.
Not the
It's
same hole. It's not.
not the same hole.
Hell, I guess for me, it's not even that. It shouldn't be that complicated. But I know for a lot of people, they feel like it's warm, it's clear, it must be urine. And I'm like, from my experiences, and I can't generalize. I'm not going to talk on behalf of all men. It doesn't smell like urine. I mean, urine typically has a very distinct smell and odor. And yeah, I'm like, I try, I think about it sometimes, that because I remember that post you're talking about, and I know the guy, and I was like, look, I'm not gonna go back and forth with this nigga. I'm not. Look,
Right.
bro, if you ain't never made a woman squirt, then that's between you and your God. They ain't got shit to do with me. Um,
I
that's
question if you ain't never made a woman climax, period.
hey.
Because you should know the
I
difference.
mean, he should know. Well, I take him. He should, but not everybody does. Um, and you like to believe that as a man you pleasure a woman to the point where she can climax and straight waterfalls all over it, but it's not always the case.
Right.
Um, Personally, I love it. Um, I love the release. I love the way it feels. I love the way it tastes. I love everything about it. Um, I do appreciate that about me and my age. I do feel like, I am happy the fact that I'm not a selfish lover. If my woman doesn't climax, and I'm like, it's not over.
Right.
So it's like, no, you have, her climaxing is priority. Afterwards, then I can come whenever.
Right. I think that people, first of all, we already know that we listen, you you have to be uninhibited in certain, in a lot of ways too. Hey, Candy, in a lot of ways. And I think that part of the challenge that some men have with understanding and respecting what female ejaculation is, i.e. squirting, it comes out differently. It's not always squirting as if she is spewing across the room, because I've seen that. It's wild to
Mm.
see that when a woman squirts and it goes across the room versus it just leaking out like water. Sometimes it just comes out differently. But female ejaculation is real. It is a real thing. It is not urine, but it is. You got to be really good at what you do to make that happen. And I think that some men particularly feel some type of way, maybe, I don't know, when they haven't reached that had that experience, had that moment where a woman has been so satisfied and pleased by what they're doing, whether it's oral or penetration, that it happens. You know what I mean? It's just like, and I can say this as a woman, the more Kegel muscles and exercises and stuff you do, that's when it shoots across the room. That's an exercise in the Kegel
So,
muscles.
ladies, I need y'all to be out here doing these Kegel muscles. I need y'all to do these Kegel Pilates. I need you guys to get ripped down there. Really work it out. Work it out, okay? Because you need to, you need to shoot it like a super soaker. You need
You
to
want it
really,
across the room.
right. You need to paint the walls, as I say. You really need to, um, fellas. I mean, come on, you got to work. You spit on it, it'll spit right back. So
Right.
you really need to be committed.
He said, spit on it and it'll spit back.
I mean, I'm just saying, I look at it like, fellas, look, if you haven't been with a woman who's done it, then maybe you need to try some communication. Maybe you're with a woman who needs to communicate because, um, especially if you're down there, if you're doing oral or whatever, she needs to communicate when you're doing something right, when you're doing something that's not working.
Right,
Just like with anything, I mean, this applies to anybody. If someone's going down here, if someone's doing something, let them know, yes, stay there, keep doing that, or slower, faster, harder, softer, go
right,
up, go down, go to the left, go to the right. Say something, communicate once they
right.
hit that spot. Then tell them, stay there.
Say it right, right. Now
Okay.
don't be no drill sergeant with it now. I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
don't. I mean, yeah,
Don't
don't.
be no drill sergeant. Like, what is it? What was it? Major Payne or whatever that movie was? Like, don't be no drill sergeant with
Yeah,
it.
no, don't be a drill
You know how
sergeant.
you do it. You can have that tone. You know how to,
Be
finesse
sexy.
and have that conversation and say it in a way that it's like, oh baby, wait a minute, just don't go nowhere.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
you can be sexy with it. You can be seductive with it without sounding like an asshole.
Right,
Um, but at the end of the day, it's like when the person you're with has reached that spot, or they've done something with that mouth or whatever that is
right.
pleasing. You can let them know in a sexy way. Stay right there. You stay right there. Then I'm gonna arrive any minute now. Any minute, I'm about to
There
go off. It's about to
you
go
go.
off. So it's all communication.
Right,
It's okay to speak.
right.
You can do it sexy. You don't have to, like I said, this isn't major pain. This isn't strictly business. You don't have to, sound like a drill instructor.
Right. Exactly. It's like Candy says, just move your hips. You know how to make that thing do. You know how to sway and move or whatever. You if you know that your man likes for you to grab him by the head or the shoulders, then do what you got to do to. That's another way. Hey,
Yeah,
Clyde. Another way to communicate. You can communicate without talking. There's a lot of different ways you can do that. But if your goal is to see that woman like literally ejaculate to where it's like, like she can't help, like uncontrollable shaking, that kind of stuff. You really want to get that kind of response. You, like Troy said, it's got to be some communication. It's got to be some, different things going on. But there's ways to communicate without using your mouth, so to speak. Like you can move your hips, shift, whatever. But yeah,
You could, I mean, you can, ladies. I mean, you don't even if you don't want to verbalize it. If he reaches the right spot, you can moan louder. You
right.
can, um, moan louder.
Grab
You
it.
can scream loud. Let
Sometimes
him
the
know.
best way is to just grab him. Like, listen,
Yes.
do something that alerts him to let him know that you don't do this. Like, keep doing this. There's a way to be able to respond. That first of all, a guy that's really in tune with you is going to know your body and how it responds to what he's doing. And if he's really paying attention and he's enjoying what he's doing to you simultaneously while you're enjoying it, he gonna pick up on that whole, okay, I done hit something. Like I'm doing something because I'm getting more reaction, I'm getting more response, I'm getting this, I'm
Mm.
getting that from her. Versus if she just laying there like a wet fish, about to die.
Yeah. That means get up and call an Uber.
Right,
Because you ain't doing it.
right, like
It's okay. It's okay. You just may not be compatible. Cut your losses. You can get up, call a lift, go to Waffle House by yourself, and it can be an early night. It's okay.
yeah,
It's okay. I mean, happens to the best of us. I mean, it don't happen to me, but happens to the best of y'all. So, I mean, when it's all said and done, you really need to communicate. You really need to, you know, ladies, figure out if you have a man that loves to have his ears grabbed or his head. I
right,
personally love my head. My head and my ears are grabbed. That lets me know I'm doing something.
right.
And pleasing a woman is A1. That's first priority.
That's it.
Um, so I'm just saying, but fellas, don't be afraid. Fellas, put this on the t-shirt. It is not urine.
Thank
It is
you.
not urine. Don't be afraid of it.
It don't
Okay.
smell like it. It don't feel like it. It's not. It's just not. It's just not. But it's really just interesting, like I said. But I think that some people are fascinated by it because they have not gotten that reaction. I think that that's why people feel like it's an urban myth that, it's not that thing, or that black people don't do it, like black women don't squirt, like that's only for certain demographic of women. I'm going like, all I
Mm.
know, like when I had a life before I became Dr. H, before I got to this point, y'all. But when we were in college and we watched porn, it was just like we watched black people, and all I knew was black women squirting. That's the first words that I like. Like, and I remember having this conversation because all the women in the room knew what was going on, and the dudes was like, "Oh, yo, she peeing on that guy." And we was just like, all the women was like, "What you mean?" She was like, That's not that's not what's happening. Do y'all understand? Are y'all watching the same thing that we just watched? So it's just like I feel like I'm having deja vu having this conversation again, that we got grown people who still like not understanding, or like I said, just haven't had that experience, or they think that it only happens in porn. But for
That's
it to
well.
happen, that means a real person got to be doing it.
First and foremost, big shout out to everybody out there. Big shout out to Jada Fire. She's definitely one of the first black women I saw really squirt that thing like a fire hydrant, like big time. Like, and anybody who knows me knows Jada Fire is my favorite porn star, one of my top favorites, and she can definitely squirt. Like, she's definitely she's put it out there. Number two, it is it's very disappointing. You got 40-year-olds out there that this is still
A
a
conversation.
a phenomenon, like something it's so phenomenal to them that they don't think it exists because they've
Right.
never seen it. I'm like, and for me, just like you and I were talking about offline, it gets to the point where you don't feel like going back and forth with some niggas. It's like, look, if you believe it's pee, do you? Okay, you think it's urine, you don't have to go there. But I do want to say, even though it's not my bag, I'm not with it. I'm not interested. We're not trying to stigmatize anybody who is into urine. If you're into urine play, if you're into golden showers, hey, do you?
But that ain't what we talking about tonight.
That ain't what we're talking about. That is not what we're talking about. So please don't be in my DMs. Don't inbox me with no
Right.
bullshit. So that's not what we're talking about. We ain't talking about golden showers. That's another episode.
Not at all. Not at all. But here's a statement. This is a real nurse, y'all. Real nurse. Okay. Real nurse. Like real nurse. Okay. Don't listen to your doctors. Keep a full bladder. You can't do both. You cannot pee and squirt a golden, like squirt climax. Same, like she said, your urethra, like I said, we don't pee out of it. It's not the same hole. Literally clamps down so your clit will release.
Mm.
That so y'all
So
want to know how it works? She just told you how it works. Okay. She just told you how it works. It's not the same thing. It's not the same hole, and it's not the same thing. Okay. You literally can't pee and squirt, meaning climax, ejaculate, female ejaculate. You can't do both of them at the same time. They both not even working. It's two different things happening. And you're not, it's not happening. So it's not a golden shower. Now I'm not knocking anybody that's in golden shower, but please understand, you are not
it,
peeing. That's
yeah,
just that's up there with squirt.
it is not the
Doing
same
that. Like
thing.
that's nasty. I don't know what to tell you. Nah. But
I mean, if anything, look, I want this episode to be a first step in the right direction
right,
towards the black people who are out there who are ultra conservative, who feel like, I really do hate when I see black people with the comments, both inside and outside of ringside. I'm like, okay, you really are illuminating the stereotype that black people can be sexually conservative, that we're
right.
not into anything. I'm like, how do you, because just like with you and I talk about the same guy, how are you, when he was commenting, I'm like, how are you 40 years old and you think this is urine? If anything, I feel bad for your wife. I pity her. If you think it's urine.
It made me think a lot of things that I was just like, I wonder if he's ever really truly pleased a woman.
Mm.
And that makes me think because I've have pondered this. I have been pondering this topic since you and I talked offline about it last week, and I was like, I'm ready for this conversation because I like to educate people, but at the same time, it's like this really got to me. Like you really out here not really pleasing women because let me tell you something. That wet spot ain't coming from body sweat. That's not sweat.
Mm.
And if you got a little tiny wet spot, you ain't pleased that woman. You just scratched the surface. You barely scratched the surface. Okay. If you got a big old huge wet spot, it's a guarantee she squirted. It may not have been like, psh,
Now, when
splish
it's over,
splash, but I guarantee you she squirted.
then you two, as amicable adults, you have the conversation about who's going to sleep in the wet spot. Um, that's something that you guys figure out afterwards.
Right.
Fellas, sometimes you got to fall on the sword, and you got to be the one that sleep in the wet spot, and you know, you just got to figure it out. But yes, I do agree. To me, the wet spot is a trophy. It's a sign of achievement. It's a sign of I did something. You know,
Listen,
like okay, if you see a wet spot, it's like no, that's a good thing. That means I'm gonna walk when I wake up in the morning and I start my day. I'm gonna walk a little bit taller. I'm gonna have my chest out a little, a little more, and I'm a high step. I'm gonna definitely walk out of here with big dick energy because I did that.
and here's
So
the thing. This is when you know you've made her squirt. When it's so much that you got to change the sheets. And I remember talking with somebody, this was a long time ago. I was talking with this girl and she was just like, she has to have one of those one of those pads that you put on
yeah.
the bed for kids to, like you wet the bed to protect the mattress. But that's
Hmm.
how much she would squirt so that to protect her mattress so she wouldn't have to keep changing her mattress out so much. She would have to put that down every time she had sex. Like she had to have that, or
That
it's not
woman,
an option. I was just like,
that woman needs her own OnlyFans account. Uh, that's what she needs. But
I was like, I'm intrigued. Like I was genuinely intrigued because now I've seen, I have seen. This is weird. And not like I told you offline. It is something to see a woman squirt, and I just told her, I was just like, girl, you a bad girl, you a bad bee. Like any man mess with you, I don't know what to tell him. I don't know what to tell him. Mine gonna be gone. It's something to see, but yeah. When I talked with the girl one time, it was like when she told me that, I was like, wait a minute, you got to have like one of those mattress pads, like plastic mattress pads. She was like, yeah. She said, I have to change my sheets every single time. She said, that, she's like, it's that intense. And I was just like,
It's a labor of love. I mean, it's worth it in the end, is it not? It can be worth it. It's like, hey, you change your sheets, but look, how did you get here? And think about the journey. So, it is what it is. But I really don't like to see African Americans be so acquiesced when it comes to um, things like this. Things that maybe I consider this non-vanilla. Maybe
right.
vanilla conversations don't involve squirting and stuff like that. But it's
I think
like,
to me, this is an adult conversation, period. Like, this is just grown folks talk. At the end of the day, I think people who are conservative because they've been forced to be conservative backed into the corner into feeling like, okay, sex is a taboo subject that you don't talk about. Going back to our very first After Dark conversation, we said, like, listen, be free. Like, should be something sex should be a regular conversation among adults, because I think people get caught up in a bunch of nonsense that they don't know about because they don't have open conversations about what's happening out here. Like, if you have never seen a woman squirt before, have like female ejaculation in any context, whether it's across the room, like it's waterfalls, like it's the stream, or just a big wet spot, whatever the case may be, however it manifests, you've been deprived. And it's time for you to really have open conversations and maybe see somebody, a sex therapist, as to why you're uncomfortable talking about sex. And maybe you're somebody who has never been fully satisfied either. And
and that's a
our
damn
life
shame.
is short to be walking around here unsatisfied.
That's a damn shame. I do feel like I am of the opinion if anybody is walking around here and ooh, when we, how many times have we shared those stories in the group where women who are of a certain age and they still haven't had an orgasm? I'm like, look,
Right.
it gets to a point where my sympathy and pity stops. And then I have to look at it like, look, lady, you need to figure out what you like. Maybe you haven't figured out what pleases you. Please your body, explore your body. Once you explore your body, then you can communicate that to a partner like, hey, do this counterclockwise and I will arrive.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out what you like. But yeah, you're right. We got a whole lot of 40 plus year olds out here who don't know shit about the human body. Again, I think personally, it really becomes a case of it's an individual, it's a personality thing, because I personally love the look of a woman squirting. I love the look of a wet spot. Again, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good to know that I please my woman,
Right.
because her orgasm matters to me. And I think that this isn't me. When I was in college, I didn't care. When I was in college, it was all about, well, I got mine. You better get yours. You need to figure it out. You better concentrate. Now
Right.
I'm at a point in my life where I just can't be selfish like that. So squirting, waterfalls, whatever you want to call it, super soak me and I'll super soak you right back. Um, to me, all that is priority. But again, it goes back to number one, communication. Like you said, the other thing is just paying attention to whatever you're doing, and whatever, when she gives you the sign that she's enjoying it, you know, focus in on that. Whatever
Right.
you're doing, when she grabs your head, when she grabs your ears, or when she starts moaning louder, whatever it is you're doing at that point, at that spot, keep doing that.
Right.
Keep doing
I
that.
agree. Yeah. Make it
So
work.
yeah, make it work. It's awesome.
Whoever this woman is that has never had a full body orgasm at 40 plus, you need an intervention.
I agree.
That's all I'm gonna say. Because even
There's
if you
plenty
ain't
out there
never
like that.
gave it to yourself at 40, there's, to me, now this is just me. Don't come for me. Get out my DMs. Leave me alone. This is me. If you have never had whole body shaking, like Candy is saying, orgasm, don't be dependent on somebody else. You better figure out how to get it to yourself. If you don't know your own body, as a woman, if you don't know that when you squirt that it's not pee, you need to be like that episode of Orange is the New Black, who, when they had to have that conversation and old girl went into the bathroom with a mirror to look down there to see how many holes she really had. You need to explore your body and get a mirror and look at what your body really looks like and figure out how to enjoy yourself. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't understand how at 40, grown people, especially if you married and you not set and you ain't never had the, I don't, life is too short.
Oh, life is definitely too short. I feel bad for the people who have transitioned on to paradise and never experienced an orgasm. I really, they
Oh,
deserve their paradise. They deserve it because they didn't get it on earth. They didn't get it in life. So I hope wherever they go when they transition, they get it every day. If you are 40 plus, so let me just put it out there like that, regardless if you are black or white, if you are 40 plus, how did you grow up in the 80s watching Madonna, even Madonna taught women about the hand mirror and exploring your own vagina. Like, how did you overlook that? But yeah, no, come on, y'all, come on. We need to really start a movement. I do agree that your orgasm matters, and you need to start acting like your orgasm
right.
matters.
It
And
does.
fellas out there, look, fellas, I promise you, when you make that thing do what it's supposed to do, when you actually experience waterfalls, I promise you, the next day, the Saturday, when you wake up in the morning, you walk into Bank of America, you walk in with a different set of energy. You walk in with different energy. I promise you. You walk into the front of the line like I did that shit, y'all.
And
Yes,
here's the thing, you don't know what you open up for yourself in your relationship when that woman has that full body. Oh, when she say you can get it, when you can have whatever you like Ti was like, you can have whatever you like, that's what that woman gonna say to you. Like,
yeah,
and here's the sure side: if she getting up making you a full breakfast, and you know full well that woman don't cook no breakfast, or she like, baby, I'm taking you to breakfast, it's on me, whatever the case may. Listen,
damn,
business.
yep.
When she start doing stuff that you want her to do, that you be, you know what I mean, but she just do it just because, like, she just volunteering extra stuff,
Damn, you
extra
making me
stuff.
feel weird now. I'm the one. I got to be honest. I'm the one that usually makes omelets and scrambled eggs in the morning. I do that for my woman.
Yeah.
Um, I have no problem. I learned that, at 17 years old. I learned that from Love Jones. Um, I look at
It'll
it
get
like, no,
you a long way. It gets you a long way.
oh no, no, I definitely have done that for my woman on more than a few occasions. I will get up the next morning and make an omelet, make you some scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
I look at it like, we had a great night. Let's have a great morning.
Right.
I do agree. Let me, shout out Candy Ski Mate. I do agree that no matter who you are, when you're with someone, when you hear them say, "I'm about to come," "I'm coming," whatever you're doing right then, keep doing that. Don't move. Whatever you,
Don't be shifting energy and all of
don't
that.
do
Don't be
nothing. Don't shift. If you're going clockwise, counterclockwise, up and down, sideways, whatever. When the person you're with says, "I'm about to come," or "I'm
That's
coming,"
it.
keep doing that.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't
That's it.
shift, don't move, don't modify, don't revise, don't do nothing else. Just keep doing what you're doing. And
Right.
you will arrive. You will be
Yeah.
delivered.
Right.
I
He
promise.
said you would be delivered.
I
Here's
promise
the
you.
thing. Here's where men sometimes mess themselves up, especially if you're looking for a woman to squirt. When they're trying to prolong it, because they're like, no, I don't want you to come yet. It ain't about you. Stop being selfish. You messed up. I think men miss that opportunity for that woman to squirt, have that squirt moment because she's at that peak. Or if you let her have that one, the next one it's not far behind. But when you got your ego in the way and you trying to stretch it out,
Mm-mm.
you
No.
done messed up the whole vibe and the mood. You know what I mean? And the whole flow of the situation. Like, listen, can we just go with what's happening here? Because maybe I'm a multiple orgasm person, and at some point I'm probably gonna squirt 2, 3, 4 times if you
Mm.
let me go head on. You don't know who you're with, especially if that person is known to have multiple orgasms. You could get a good multiple squirt. Just a little something to help y'all men out, okay? Just to help y'all out a little bit right there. Don't get into that whole groove. You got a groove just because you don't want her to come yet. You might be stifling a whole multiple orgasm situation that's really gonna rock your world
No,
if you
I'm
just let
definitely.
it flow.
I definitely want her to come at will. Um, my whole thing is don't hold back, don't stifle yourself, don't resist. If you about to come within 5 minutes, please do, come.
Right.
God damn it, come. Shit, I'm waiting on that. So make it happen. If you come in 5 minutes,
Sometimes it's like that. Get that first one out the way.
you're
Get
not
that
gonna
first
do
one
it.
out the way, so then the next one is like it's savor it. The next one gets savored. Like, whoo,
Yes.
just gonna get this quickie out the way, because the next one about to real be a good busset. Like Candy say, a good busset. Um,
Right. I mean
yeah,
that second one. I mean, get it. I mean, come on now. Come on. We about to pass the collection plate around the second time. You got to get it. You really need to, whatever. Understand, not only communicate, but understand your own body, and
yeah,
don't just understand. Like, look, if you feel the need and you feel like you're about to erupt, damn it, erupts.
right, yeah,
And fellas, don't be shy with it. It's okay to get it on your mouth. It's okay to get it all over your face. It's okay to, your whole face looking like a glazed donut. It's okay. That's a good thing. Wear it with pride. When it's done, just it's okay. It's not a
yeah,
bad thing. It's nothing shameful that you made your woman explode.
right.
Um,
Here's the thing is, I think that people listen. What's going on in your bedroom? It's in your bedroom. Ain't nobody gonna know unless you out here telling it. So your bedroom should be the safest place possible. You should not have any feelings of shame or embarrassment when you in the bedroom with your significant other. Like that should be a free for all space where you get to explore safely, each other. You know what I mean? Now, if there's some stuff that you might feel uncomfortable about, you know what I mean? Again, have that conversation, but you should be able to safely explore whatever you feel you need to explore in that bedroom, so to make it do what it do in your relationship. You
right.
know what I'm saying?
I do agree. Whatever you like in that bedroom, you don't have to explain it to anybody out, in the real world. You don't have to explain to anybody on social media. Whatever you're into, always understand that that is between you and your partner. It's not
Right,
anything you have to broadcast, not anything you have to solicit opinions or validation. If you like things a certain way sexually, damn it, that's okay. I do want to address one comment from the ever popular Candy CD May. Candy, I'm not justifying the entire Love Jones. Even though
movie.
Love Jones was a classic movie, I'm just honing in on
That
Darius.
one scene.
Yeah, Darius Lovejoy taught me the importance of um, pleasing a woman, but also changing the game and waking up and making her breakfast, because that's
Right.
something I don't, that may or may not be a love language, but I do enjoy doing it. I love cooking anyway. I enjoy cooking, especially cooking for someone who's going to enjoy my food. So
Yeah.
if I'm,
That's acts of service. Service is a love language. That's called acts of service. So it's a love language.
right.
Yeah.
And damn it, a cheese omelet is for sure an act of service. So I enjoy doing that immensely. I love serving the woman who loves me and serves me. So as far as the rest of the movie, I'm not gonna comment. It's still a classic, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
That was
It was some
that
stuff
was
there.
yeah. Love Jones came out my senior year in high school, and it's still a classic.
Yeah. Yeah. I was at Skigi, and all I'm gonna say is, Lord have mercy.
Oh yeah,
Everybody, their mama went to go see it. It was just like, Lord, when folks went to go see Love Jones, they was all the way up in Auburn and Montgomery going to go see Love Jones. It was just like, okay, uh, yeah, but yeah, I think that I think that's I think we you learn a lot, especially like from movies like Love Jones, about creating that safe space of romanticism and different things and setting the mood. A lot of what we're talking about, and really. again, when you're having sex with a woman, it's about really getting up here a lot of times with her, getting her to be in that mindset where she, like, that's why you set the mood. That's why you have, you like, all of the more of that woman's senses that are engaged in that moment, the more you're going to get out of her. That's why you like the incense and the candles, and that's why you have the music and the food. All of the senses are engaged in that moment. Then there's no reason why both of you can't, like, get there. But I
Oh
don't know.
God,
No.
I'm definitely enjoying this conversation. I'm horny right now. So
We
I'm ready.
not when
I'm,
we have an
def-
after dark conversation. Just let me just when we have
I'm,
an after dark
I'm,
conversation. What do you not?
I'm definitely gonna masturbate again before bed. So I'm gonna do a round two with myself because I'm
Oh.
having. But yeah, I look. You know, it's whoo man. Oh my gosh.
So while Trey composes himself, he composes himself. But seriously, I mean, I think that men who like Troy, who it just really is into, enjoying a woman's body, but at the same time wants to have that experience. He wants, he's very open about the experiences he wants to have, and having a woman squirt is something. And it's again, for some people it's a phenomenon. As a woman, I wish I would give my body to somebody and I don't be satisfied. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. We're not doing that.
Hmm.
We're not doing that.
I'm just saying. You know, it's you. At the end of the day, you have to take accountability for your own orgasm. You need if orgasm is a priority for you sexually, then if the person you're with cannot get it on their own, if they can't GPS it and find it on their own, then you need to guide them. You need to let them
Right.
know, look, I like this, I don't like that. Do more of this, do less of that. It's okay. It doesn't make you any less of a lover to talk to someone and say, look, do these things step by step and I will arrive.
Right.
It's okay. You can do that. And when it's all said and done, like, look, the outcome, emphasis on come, is remarkable. And you're
Right.
both happy. You're both sitting up there Sunday morning eating cheese omelets. Everybody happy.
Right. I think
You
part of
know,
that is being mature enough to not only have that conversation but receive what that other person is saying. People, you got listen, ego and pride got to get out the way when it comes to the bedroom.
mm,
Because that's, that really keeps you from being able to enjoy one another. And this is why you don't brag on yourself. And as a woman, if you know that squirting is something you do, the moment you brag about it, you done mentally mess yourself up, because when it comes time to have that moment, that person, the expectation is there because you didn't talk about it so much. They looking for it. And when
yeah,
you know
surprise
you
them.
do it, now it's kind of like, what happened? You know what I mean? Like, you gotta, don't brag on yourself. Just be like, just be like, okay, whatever. Okay. I can show you
You
better than
know,
I can. The phrase "I
yeah,
can show you better than I can tell you" goes a long way. Zip
definitely.
it.
No, I do agree. Under promise, over deliver. You don't have to put it on a billboard. You don't have to brag about it. You don't have to boast. Just let them find out. You
Right,
know, still communicate, but let them find out. Make them, feel like their ancestors getting sprayed with the fire hoses back in the '60s. You know, just hit them. I promise you. The right man will welcome it. The right man will give you a pat on the back, like, you go, girl. You
right,
did that. Like, but no,
right,
you need to spray their ass. If it's in you, if you got, if the person is with you and they really hitting it,
right.
spray them,
Yeah,
spray them. Don't and be unapologetic about it. Like, yeah, I did it.
yeah, yeah. And here's the thing: for a woman, especially when it happens to you for the first time, like, well, not when it happens for you for the first time, it can be a little embarrassing because it's kind of like shocking. It's like really shocking, but at the same time, it's a badge of honor because it's kind of like, whew, you got that release, like Trey would say, you got delivered. But it's kind of like, whoo, you know what I mean? And it's an awkward moment because both of you might be shocked. Maybe the other person may have experienced and maybe they have not. But it's like when it does happen, it's like, okay, move on. Don't freak out about it. Just, baby, go ahead and bask on it. You might have another multiple and keep on going. Like,
Mm.
but don't let it freak you out to the point that you kind of shut down. Like, nah, don't do
No,
that.
don't shut down. I mean, the right, and if you do release, if you're with a man who is uncomfortable with that, you might be with. If he can't come around to that and understand, he may not be the one for you because the right man will accept all your offerings and accept
Hmm.
all those blessings, and he will, the right man will be baptized in all your glory and all everything that is you. Okay. Fuck what a song says. Chase them damn waterfalls. Chase them
Right.
on. Drowning them, drowning that shit. So
Yeah,
the right man for you will welcome it, thank you for it, and make you breakfast the next morning. The
I
right,
agree.
the wrong man will, be passive aggressive on social media the next day and be petty, but that ain't the man for you. That
That's
ain't the man.
childish.
That's child. That right. That's a child. That's not a grown man. A grown man, yeah. A grown man will take you to the mall the next day and go frolic out in Piedmont Park with you.
There you
So
go.
yeah, that's the man. With that man, that's the man you need to count on. The other men, they ain't for you.
I want to hit this comment that Candy's talking about. She said women need to stop stroking egos and tell these men that yes, you have big man meat, but I want my uterus in my pelvis, and there's a thin line between hurt so good and painful. Got men out here slanging wasted meat.
Hey, so my question for the ladies. So ladies, this is just an honest question. I mean, for clarification, when it's to the point where you feel it's hitting, you can feel it in your stomach. Is that a good thing or bad thing? It's a good thing,
Hmm.
not a good thing.
Sometimes you sit on it and you want it to come out your throat, and it's so good. And then other times it's just, it's uncomfortable. It just really depends on. It's not always the girth. You know what I mean? It's just, it's got, if it's well put together in all facets. It's just when it fit like a glove, it don't really matter.
Mm.
It's just, it just work. Just make it work. I
Um,
can't speak for nobody else, but I mean, I, all
okay,
ladies I know, my friend, we
look,
feel kind
everybody.
of the same way.
This is black ass conversations after dark. How many of y'all getting laid after this? Okay, show of hands. Some of y'all got to get laid after this, and either confirm or negate everything we're saying because we're dropping jewels.
Right.
We are, Dr. H and I, we really are spitting knowledge right now, and we hope you guys apply it. So I just want to know how many of y'all getting laid within the next 48 hours.
I'm saying, because listen, I'm just trying to hit you, especially, I mean, when it comes to, again, we're talking about squirting and what it takes for a woman to get a woman to squirt. And people will say all women can't squirt, all women don't ejaculate. So you saying all women don't come?
Okay, so let me say this. Okay, even if
I
you,
just want to know, even if it's just a little bit. I just want to know. I don't know. I,
Um,
it's
like we said,
possible.
like we said earlier in the show, work on those Kegel muscles. Work them.
Yes.
Work that shit. But
That's the
even
first thing I learned as a woman. I kid you not, in college, that's one of the first things that I learned, that we learned, like in our dorms and in certain in classes. Listen, the the one of the best things you can have to heighten the experience is Kegels. And I remember being my ex. That's all I knew, and he would be like, "You're squeezing me, you're squeezing me." I'm just like, it was so subconscious. It was normal. It was just it was auto reflex. Like that's all I know because I've done Kegels so much. It's just like Candace said, yoni balls. Like we had those in college. Like they gave out. Like I don't know if they still do that, but yoni balls they would give them out, and you would squeeze around it. You know what I mean? Like, and you learn how to, and so your Kegel muscles, and you do certain things. You can sit and be at your desk doing Kegel muscles exercises. It's just so you learn. It's just certain things, and it just heightens the experience for you. So when you're squeezing around, it's kind of like you can get it so strong that you squeeze around him. It almost feels like you getting. oral while being inside a woman. If her Kegels are, if she's doing good Kegel muscle exercises, and you do that, you get practice by using yoni balls. When you do that and you practice around, you squeezing around, not just sitting at your desk squeezing, but you got yoni balls, and you keep going to certain sizes and you squeezing around them. That's how you get your Kegels. That's one way to get them strong. It's like
Look,
that man oral while he's inside.
look. If you doing that while we inside, that's a great way to get pregnant.
He
Um,
said that's a great way to get.
Woo! Feeling horny right now. Um, like, come
But
on
I'm
in.
saying, like, I love my HBCU experience, my college experience, because, like I said, we learned, like, we would have open conversations in the dorm about stuff. They give you contraception because they was like, listen, we don't want you getting pregnant and dropping out of college. You here for education, but we ain't stupid into thinking that college kids ain't doing what they do. They were
Oh,
really
college,
about safe sex. We would
college
have
kids suck.
conversations about STDs, like, I remember when they gave us the dental dam, they gave us the female contraceptive that you put inside and it melt like this little whatever. Like all of these different things they would give us to make sure, but we would have open conversations. It wasn't to this extent, but we had open conversations about sex in college, because avoiding the conversation ain't gonna stop it, ain't gonna help.
You
So you
know,
may as well face it head on.
it makes you know what. Again, I want to address. I love Candy Skiggy May. She's always been a devout follower of Black Ass Conversation. Yeah, make that pull-out game weak. I know Cardi B said that, and WAP, and that's cool. So, wouldn't it be a trip if one day Offset does a memoir and say, her pussy wasn't that wet. Pussy wasn't that wet. She was just lying to y'all. So, because even Offset admitted that, look, no, she cooks, she cleans. She got a ring, but she does cook and clean.
Right.
One day I'd be tripping. I would, 10, 15 years from now, if Offset writes his memoir and said, look, pussy wasn't that great. Pussy, I'd be tripping. But
Maybe she just made it just to make some money. I don't know. But like I said, we would have like these kinds of conversations. Like I said, they had these with us in college. Like I said, like, first of all, at Skiggy, we out there in the country, in the cut.
y'all ain't got nothing else to do but fuck.
So, and back then, like what they got now, all the development they got now, we had that. We were still going to Freaknik back then. Okay, come on. Freaknik was still a thing. Daytona was still a thing. You know what I'm saying? So we
My
talking back. We talking it back.
my
So we
only
had
my
to
only
have
freaknik,
conversations.
the only freaknik I attended was the 1998 freaknik, and I was a freshman. I got there. My freshman year was 97, 98. 98 Freaknik came around, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is the weakest Freaknik ever." I can't believe how weak this. I was like, "That shit is considered weak."
Yeah,
Everything we just
I
did, this
heard about
entire
it.
weekend, that shit considered weak. I don't
Yeah.
think I'm. I don't think I'm holy enough to experience anything worse than that.
I remember hearing about 98 Freaknik. It
Not
was,
everybody, all the old heads back then. I'm 18, 19, whatever, and all the old heads was like, "Oh man, that was the weakest freaking
yeah.
ever." I'm sitting up there like, if that's considered weak, oh my gosh.
95 Freaknik. Ooh.
I
We
mean,
had 95 Freaknik was so bad. Our our school president was like, if we catch you on any video, you expelled. That's how it was that bad. It was like that. They was like, we putting you out because it violates the student code of conduct.
you know what?
That's how that's all I'm gonna say. Like they
It,
threatened to put you out of school
I'm so
for
glad,
95 Freaknik.
even though I've only attended one freaking. It is such a blessing that there weren't camera phones back then. If camera phones existed back then, oh my gosh. But when you think about it, it's 2021 now. How many? I'm pretty sure a lot of us have encountered some 20-something-year-olds who are freaknik babies, and
Oh
probably
yeah.
like, it's some
Or
freaknik babies
Daytona
out there.
babies. Oh yeah, homecoming babies. Some of y'all homecoming babies.
Right. If y'all out there, if you were born around 95, 96, anywhere in the mid 90s, you may be a freaknik baby. You
Hmm.
just might be, and it's okay. Ain't no shame in that. It's
Just
I'm
say,
most people ain't gonna judge. I may judge you, but most people ain't gonna judge you. Um, I may look at your parents like, damn, for real. But it's a whole lot of Freaknik and Daytona Beach and
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Capricorn babies out there. Oh my
yeah,
gosh, we got to do
yeah,
better, black people. Come on.
yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, these kinds of conversations I, in college is when I experienced seeing a woman squirt across the room.
Mm.
I was like, "You a bad bee," and I don't even want to be friends because I don't want nobody to think that I can do that. Ain't got time for that. Like I ain't know nothing about. I was just like, and any dude that mess with you, like
No, that's the
it
wrong.
was
No,
something.
no. That's reverse, Dr. H. You want it, ladies, you want to be friends with that woman because that woman gonna get you in the clubs for free. She's gonna get you free drinks. You want to be friends with that woman,
Child,
okay?
this was college me when I ain't know half a piece of nothing. I was still learning some things. I
That
was scared. I'm honest enough to say, listen, my motto in college was if you scared, say you scared. She was the first person to make me say I was scared. And that was saying
Look,
something.
that I promise you, whoever that young lady is, and trust me, look, Dr. H, I got a brother and a little, I got a play brother and play sister who went to Tuskegee. I've been to Tuskegee a couple times. I know what y'all got down, going on down there. Look, ladies, if you can squirt across the room, you getting flowed out. You getting flued out,
You
whatever.
get
You gonna get flued out somewhere. Some some nigga in a turban gonna fly you to Dubai and and pay and pay your Section 8 rent. I promise you. If you can
said pay
squirt
your
across the
section
room,
anyway.
man, I'm telling you, if you can squirt across the room, man, I'm shit.
Yeah.
Somebody out there,
And this was, I don't know if she was the same person or we had something where no, it wasn't. It was definitely it was a situation where um it was a different girl. This girl, I won't scared of her. But we this again sitting around watching porn, this woman, we saw this woman with this Coke bottle being able to move this Coke bottle just with her vagina. And so we were playing truth or dare, and this person got dared to see if she could do it because she was always bragging on herself, like always bragging like you can do something. And she ain't lying. She held that bottle. Like she was able to move that bottle up and down with just her.
and
I was like,
I bet you whoever that woman is that you're talking about, I bet she's a world traveler
I'm
and
sure she probably is by now.
and ain't spent a dime.
Probably not.
I'm
Probably not. But it was, but
just
that was also all the girls in the room at the time was like, you can't, like dudes was like, ain't no such thing, ain't no woman got no, that ain't real. That's smoke and mirrors, that's TV, that's, porn, that ain't real until you see
real.
somebody in front of you do it. And then it was like the hush heard around the complex. And it's like, okay, because as women, we know the power of what our vagina can do. Because again, we were having these conversations in the women's dorm. You know what I mean? I don't know about some of the other dorms. I know my dorm, we had some serious conversations. And sometimes we had some of the sororities were hosting those conversations as part of their initiatives or whatever. But having those conversations because you don't want nobody getting messed up, and out here exploring something, trying something, you don't know what you're doing, whatever the case may be. So having open sex conversations really help. And I think that, if you're 40 and you're uncomfortable talking about sex, you have been deprived. Sex is not bad. Okay. But a lot of people, I think we have a lot of high STD rates because people want to be out here trying stuff, but they don't want to be mature enough to have a conversation about certain things. But it's like you can be sexually free, but at the same time, be responsible. Like,
Look, if you come on, everybody, look, men and women prioritize that orgasm. You need to reach nirvana because you do not want to transition from this life to the next and have the angels side eyeing you because you walking through pearly gates and like, she ain't never had an orgasm, but I'm just saying. Because I'm pretty sure there's some petty angels up there There's some petty saints like, you know that bitch ain't never come, right? You know, we got to put her in front of line.
Just looking down on your life like, ooh. But
Like, ooh, child. Look at who this woman.
right. Like Hoppo, who this? Yeah.
Right.
But
You can't you
yeah.
can't do that. Ladies, I want you to really, if you take nothing else from these conversations, really understand that you got a lot of cum in you that needs to get out. You just need a partner who's willing to go down that journey with you. You need a partner that you are comfortable communicating with. But at the end of the day, you know, regardless if you grew up watching Madonna or whoever else, get that hand mirror and explore.
Right.
Explore down there. You know, you got more than one hole down there.
Right.
Um, Figure out, y'all. I mean, ladies, come on, y'all got a whole lot of things going on down there that a lot of us don't know anything about. So if you don't know about your pussy, then how can you tell a man about it?
Right. I was gonna say, you as a woman, you should know your body. We can't be out here talking about women should know their bodies and women should have control of their bodies when you don't even know what it looked like down there because you scared to look. Why?
Right.
It's yours. You need to know
Don't
what's
be
down there.
scared. Don't be scared to look. Like, ladies, get that hand mirror or whatever and go in the bathroom, close the door, and have a ball.
How you
Uh,
not know what it looked like? How would you know if something's wrong if you don't know what it looks like? Like you can't know your body, right, Andra? You can't know your body if you don't know what it looked like. So how would you be able to identify and tell your doctor that something is wrong when you don't know what it looked like down there? And I'm just being real with you. Like we're talking about squirting and different stuff that you got to know that your vaginal health contributes to your ability to be pleased.
mm.
So if you got issues down there, sex gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna be painful. You're not gonna enjoy it, and then you're gonna be bitter towards it. Be like, it ain't all of that in the first place. Yeah, it is. Deal with your trauma.
I'm
Stop,
just
stop
saying,
making other people deal with your trauma. But
deal with your
first,
shit.
you gotta know your body. That means look at it, so you can
People
have
who
an
are
open
people who
conversation.
are having great sex enjoy life on a different level. I feel, you know, I think we all, if
You
you,
burn them calories.
before the pandemic, I think we've all probably had that experience of working with a coworker or a manager, and you could tell they ain't getting on. You could tell this person ain't having good sex. I think everybody, I'm pretty sure, think about it. Everyone, think about it. You have worked in an office environment. You work someplace where you can tell this person ain't getting laid. This person ain't having a good sex life. When you are having a phenomenal sex life, life ain't that bad.
It's not.
You know, I'm not saying, you know, things aren't perfect. You know, there are issues with unemployment, and we got wars, we got shootouts, we got so many bad things happening on CNN. But when you are getting great orgasm, when you are really fucking and coming, life ain't that bad.
Right.
Okay, life ain't that. I promise you.
Listen, it changes your mindset and your mood, and all your hormones are all connected. I worked with somebody, and my GM would take her off the schedule, and she would put her off in the office and say, "Get yourself together, go get you some, and I'll put you back on the schedule because right now you got a funky attitude, and I can't have it. Get
Mm.
you some, and I'll put you back on the schedule. But until then, bye bye." Like she really had that. Like this girl's mood was so controlled by. You could tell. You knew she hadn't gotten any. It's just like you need a regular. Like it was her like hormonal imbalance. And it's just like, girl, your mind and life ain't right. Like you need to go. Like you said, get delivered, get your release, and go on
I'm like,
somewhere and
yo,
sit
you
down
need
so that
help. Like,
everybody else is impacted by your attitude right now.
oh, you know, when you getting it and you getting it good, you walk different. Your
Right,
attitude, your disposition is different. You can tell. You can look at people like, oh, don't. Yeah, you can. Don't break her stride. She getting it.
right,
She getting on rent and she getting it good. These other people, like, yeah, don't bother them. You know, let them eat lunch by themselves because they ain't getting none.
right.
Yeah, those are the people. Like, look, those are the ones you got pulled to the side. Like, come here. We need to
We
talk.
need to talk.
Yeah,
Right.
'cause, I can tell by your whole your whole aura that it's dry as the Sahara down there. You ain't getting none.
Correct. Right.
When was the last time you seen a dick?
Right.
So yes,
Figure it out.
um, I'm
Figure
not,
it out.
I'm not, I don't want anybody to take the wrong message from this. We are not, and I can say this on behalf of Dr. H and myself, we are not encouraging anyone to be promiscuous and sleep
Right.
with,
At all.
everybody. We're just saying, number one, know your body, know what pleases you, and be unapologetic about it. If what pleases you is not vanilla, or if it's not the same as what your friend is talking about, that's okay. You ain't got to post it on social media. You don't have to justify it. You don't have to
Right.
explain it. Figure out what you like. Figure out the source code to your own body.
Right.
And then when you get with a willing partner, when you get with a partner who prioritizes your orgasm, you can communicate that. You can tell them, like, look, do this and not that. You know,
Right.
and I promise you, life, when you're getting it and you're getting it good, life ain't so bad.
Please don't be a 40-year-old anybody and
Right.
just, especially married. If you're married and it's just like not good, you need to speak up. Speak up. Like that's just because I'm telling you, it's gonna weigh in your marriage. It's gonna weigh at some
It's,
point. It's gonna show up. So life is too short. See a sex therapist. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Like honestly, there's no shame in that. Go see a therapist. And like I'm just, it's no one's business but yours. But go see
it's
a
no one's
therapist
business but
because
yours.
again, you don't want your marriage to kind of, you know what I mean? Like you want that sexiness in your marriage. You know what I mean? It may not be the deal breaker for your marriage, but you don't want it to be that looming something that is just like your marriage ain't everything it could be because the bedroom is not, it's just kind of you know what I mean? Everybody in that bed, in that you're in a marriage together, y'all
Right.
need to be satisfied both.
You
And
need
so you got
you
to
need to
figure
talk.
out what you need to have a conversation. What's happening up here that we're not physically attracted to each other or we're not satisfying each other in the bedroom, whatever the case may be. And again, don't feel bad. Go see a sex therapist if you got to do that, but do what you need to do to make it happen. It is no one's business what's going on in your bedroom. The marriage bed is undefiled. Whatever you doing up in there, stop
It's
telling
your business.
everybody.
You ain't got to post.
If your
Trust me.
wife squirting, stop
You
bragging
don't
about
have
your
to
wife
post it.
squirting.
You don't, whatever you do in the bedroom with your partner, you don't have to post it on social media. You don't have to talk about it with your friends. If you are afraid of judgment, whatever, then you ain't got to talk about it. Your orgasm can be unique to you, and it's not
Correct.
anything you have to explain. Because I promise you, what you don't want to do. Number one, if you are married and you have a bad sex life, I'm blaming you. You need to take accountability for your orgasm. You need to take accountability for your own coming, okay? Because you need to come. Second off, like I said, you do not want to. I feel bad for the people who have gone on the glory and they had good orgasms because they up there with the angels and angels side eye them and gossiping about them because angels will gossip, and angels will talk about you. All of them. You don't want that. You know what I'm saying? When I want what I want for my life, when I die, when I leave this earthly body, I want to go high stepping through the pearly gates. Y'all know I'm walking through the pearly gates with big dick energy. Like, yeah, I did it. I did that shit.
And gave it
Okay.
all. You left it all. You left it all on
Yeah,
earth.
I put a stamp on it. God damn it! What up, God? I did that shit. Where you want me to go? So that's the kind of big dig energy you need to take into heaven.
Yeah.
So, or good pussy energy. With great pussy comes great responsibility. So I'm just what I want, and this is my sermon to the congregation. Don't transition without coming. Don't leave without coming. If that makes sense, that's
I'm with you.
that, yeah, that's 60% me, that's 40% the liquor. Most of that is me. But don't leave without coming.
Right. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you. If anyone is judging you, they're jealous because they aren't getting it, and that's the truth. And I mean, and we said that earlier. Listen, I feel bad for anybody that has not, especially, and I'm on the one hand, I feel bad for the man, but on the hand, I don't feel bad. If you're a guy and you ain't getting a wet spot from a woman, you ain't done nothing. So, female ejaculation is real. It is powerful. It is something to experience and behold. I
And it's
guarantee
not
you.
urine.
And it's not urine, but the bigger the wet spot, you did something. That woman squirted in some capacity. Like I said, it may not have splashed like a waterfall. It might have just kind of, did a little stream situation or whatever. But that wet spot is not sweat, and it is not coming from a man. That is a woman ejaculating. She is lived. That's what comes out when a woman climaxes. of
That
her
is that
ability
is
to
fire.
squirt and do different things. Um, um, because that has to do with her Kegel muscles. So
So, fellas, um, look, don't be afraid of that. It is not urine. If you are a man on social media and you're arguing with a woman telling her that her ejaculation is urine, then something is wrong with you. Then I'm not afraid to tell you, like, brother, you're the one with issues when you're trying to explain a woman's body to a woman. Um, but that's for another show. That's on you because I can't help you. I'm worried. I'm only concerned with my own orgasm, and I know that when I transition, when the sparrow,
at the end of your life,
yeah, when that sparrow comes, yeah, I'm walking up in there like y'all know what I did. I bring this shit up in here. I'm dragging this shit behind me. So
it's in there like swimwear.
mm,
Yeah. So
just
y'all,
I just throw it over my shoulder and walk on in there like, excuse me.
that's wild. Candy, with your comment about the piercing, I went with my girlfriend years ago. I was living in Durham, North Carolina when she got her piercing, and baby, I was like, girl, she was like, let me tell you, she was just like, it was just, I was like, girl, I heard you. That's all I could say was, I heard you. We heard you. It was like we went with her for moral support because she was serious about going. And the only person who went in with her was the actual nurse. One of her friends was a registered nurse. So it was like, if anything go wrong, you need to have the nurse in there because ain't even one of us know what to do. And we was just like, we heard you. She was just like, we laughed that night because she actually climaxed when she got her piercing. And so, yeah. So, God bless y'all for that. I ain't doing that. Ain't nobody got time, but I ain't doing that. But she was like, I was like, we heard you. Go ahead on. We heard you. Go ahead on. We
Oh
don't need
God.
to hear
Okay.
nothing else. Go ahead
Okay.
on.
Shout out to Candy Skigi May because she has been a devout follower of Black Ass Conversation even before it was called Black Ass Conversation.
I'm
And
trying to tell you. I'm
and
trying to tell you.
Candy is putting us up on game. Candy, appreciate you. I have a few friends actually that went to Tuskegee, so I'm definitely familiar with Tuskegee campus. It is a very wide. The first few times I went to Tuskegee, I was like, God damn, when does this campus stop? It's so
Yeah.
wide. It's
It
like
goes, it's long. It goes all the way to the farm and then off to the side, to the vet side. So from the beginning, then you go all the way down to the farm, and then it goes over to the vet. It's massive. It's
I mean,
massive. You're gonna lose some weight your freshman year. Talking about people
my
talk
brother
about the
said
freshman
that.
20 game.
My brother and my sisters, I was at Morehouse from 97 to 2001. My brother was at Morehouse. I mean, my brother was at Tuskegee 97, 2002. He said the same thing. It's like, yo, you're going to lose weight. You're
Yeah.
going to lose weight walking in that hot Alabama sun. I'm like, man. So,
And the way they set up the classes, you got one class all the way here on one end of the campus, and you got the hike to your next class on the other end of the campus. You hike. It's a hike. You're gonna lose that weight. I don't care what you say. It's hot. Now how Alabama sun, you right. Because my freshman year, I would take a shower 3, 4, 5 times a day because it was too hot and sweaty and I ain't like it. Like it was, yeah. You get like that.
oh my God. Like I said, I'm definitely familiar with Tuskegee. Shout out to all the Tuskegee alumni out there. I'm still, at the end of the day, I'm still going to root for the maroon and white Morehouse.
You should.
We beat y'all a couple times in football. Every once in a while, we beat y'all.
Every once in a while, it's all right. We let y'all have that.
Every once in a while, we happen to get a win in there. We sneak a win in there, but yeah,
Yeah,
big shout out to y'all. Y'all, if you're out there, you're from Tuskegee, tell your classmates about Black Ass Conversations. Make
absolutely.
sure they tune
Ringside.
Make sure they tune in to Ringside. Go to your Facebook and type into the search Ringside LLC. Make sure you hit up our website, ringsidedebates.com. It is a newly designed website. You will enjoy it. If you're out there listening right now, all all these comments right here, ringsidedebates.com. Go search for it. Find us
Yeah.
on Facebook. Join the group. Buy some merch. We got t-shirts. We got masks. I'm wearing a t-shirt right now. So
I had my mask on the other day. Y'all just need to check out my social media posts because that mask is lit. It's comfortable, and I'm not. I'm just saying it really is. It's comfortable, breathable, but it also protects you. So it looks good. I was just like, hey,
Mhm. Candy, look, okay, yeah, golden tiger versus maroon tiger. I see you. Okay,
yeah,
I'm proud to be a maroon tiger. Okay,
yeah.
I'm proud.
Golden up in here. So, y'all, thank you for joining us tonight. It was definitely a lit conversation.
Mm.
Um, Female ejaculation is not an urban myth. It does happen. It happens among Black people. It's not a Black woman, white woman, whatever person. It is a female thing. We do that. Candy, I'll send you the link. I'll get you a mask. Matter of fact, you're gonna be here next. Do you want me to I'll text you about the mask. But it is
Thank you,
not
Candy.
it's not an urban myth, y'all. It is real. It
It is not
happens.
white people shit. We need to stop that, but it is not white people shit.
It's not. It really isn't. When it comes to the bedroom and pleasure, it's not a race thing. It's how comfortable are you being free? Like Candy said, how comfortable is that woman relaxing with you that she gives you everything, like literally unabashedly she let it rip. You know what I mean? And so it's just have mature conversations. And thank you, Andrea. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you, but we really want to have this conversation so we can dispel the myth of what female ejaculation is and what it is not. It is not urine. It does
It is
not
not
come out the same hole. That does not happen simultaneously. A woman is not climaxing and urinating at the same time. It's not even possible for that to
not
happen.
possible.
Just so as an FYI. So just y'all just think before you go out here and have crazy conversations with people. And when people want to be ignorant, just don't respond. Just be like, okay, you walk in your ignorance and keep on not satisfying women because that's what that says to me. You ain't never really had a good spot in your life, and I'm sorry
Can I
for you. But
can I say one thing before we leave?
go ahead,
I,
babes.
I want to say one thing before we get up out of here. Want a quick tip to the fellas. Fellas, this is me imparting wisdom to the young bucks out there, or to my peers. Do not um, do not shy away from double or dual stimulation. If you are going down on your girl, it's okay to either finger while you're doing it or stimulate the nipples. She will arrive quicker, more effectively. There's nothing wrong with going down is good. But if you're going down, but also do some other stuff, promise you she will arrive quick. I'm trying to put y'all up on game, but
Help the people.
yeah,
Learn them something.
I, you know, I,
Listen.
I'm all about that because again, I'm straight up woke. I want my black folk to come. We can't be out here be all depressed at work, and we just not getting it. So come on, black people, if you're out there, come on, y'all. Look, it's y'all know this is after dark. This is black ass conversation. Y'all need to get y'all nut. Y'all need to get y'all come. Please
Right.
prioritize that shit. You do not want to transition on the other side because I promise you, something tells me the folks on the other side they just as petty as the folks on this side. Don't have them side eye you. They will side eye you. They will talk about you behind your back. Okay, I promise. I don't want that for you. I don't
Right.
want people talking about you at your funeral because I'm people. I'm people. I'm gonna talk about you.
And on that note, y'all, we love y'all. We want to thank you so much for tuning in tonight to this After Dark conversation. Stay tuned, connect with me, follow me, so you can be hip on the next conversation. It's going to be our regular Wednesday night. We'll let you know what the topic is, but and we definitely going to let you know when the next After Dark conversation is and what
I
that
already
topic
got a
is.
topic. I already got a topic.
He already got it. See what I'm saying? He be in there.
I'll
So
be
we
in
thank
there.
y'all so much for being in there with us tonight, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.